Hey, how's it going? So we are finally recovered from the cold that has been going around. It hit us both pretty good, but we're feeling pretty good now. I happened to look outside and look what David has going on out there. Look at that beautiful sunshine out there. Oh, what is that I see? It's got the sun oven out, and I kind of real quick did a search of the weather, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be nice and sunny the next couple days. And I thought, you know, it's kind of still trying to get myself back in the rhythm of, you know, the house and dinner and all that kind of stuff, and still wanting to kind of move slow. I thought, you know what, why don't I grab some of our canned food from downstairs and show you guys how simple it is to basically dump it in the pot and then throw it in the sun oven. Guys, I'm telling you, all we have to do is set it out there. He lines up the, there's 2 different level spots on there. We've got an automatic tracker. Literally, we set it out there and we just let the sun, and it literally will follow that sun all day. We don't have to do anything. So while the sun is cooking our dinner, you know, I get caught up on laundry, sweep the floor, you know, the things that just kind of get left when you're not feeling well. And so I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you that, you know, when we're doing all that canning, and it's a lot of work, man, it's a lot of work. And sometimes I'm like, oh, God, I wish I didn't have to do this. But I do love doing it. And I do love in situations like, you know, when we're not feeling well or we're in a hurry, we've got a lot going on. I just crack that jar open, crack those jars open, and I can put together a really good meal for my family in no time. All right, guys, come on along. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Hoping for some right there. Pork butt. This does amazing. You just drain the juice off, throw some barbecue sauce on it, and you are in heaven. Alright, let's grab a jar of green beans. These are from our garden last fall. And a jar of potatoes. All right, and let's see. Let's grab my applesauce. Let's do a jar of applesauce. All right, so we're gonna start out first with our potatoes. I just use this little gadget here. You use the back of your spoon. I just run it along the edge here to open this up. And then if these look good, I'll rewash them and then I'll use them for my dry goods. So you can see in here that these potatoes have kind of a, like a starchy film in there. So what I do is I just dump them like this, drain that off, and then because I'm going to be mixing the green beans and the potatoes together, I'm just going to drain this juice over the top of that, and it should take care of the extra starch that's in there. These were from the end of last year's garden. You get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, no more green beans. And then I think about the middle of the winter when I'm like, oh, I don't feel like cooking a big meal. Look at how easy this is. I just dump this in here. Voila. All right, we're going to take this to the sink, give it a quick rinse. So this is what was left in the bottom of the strainer from the green beans and the potatoes. Now some people would just take this and chuck it down their sink. I'm going to actually save this and I'm going to use it for pouring over our chicken food. There's got to be a little bit of nutrients in there for them, so I figured instead of wasting it, I'm going to give it to the chickens. All right, so we got that drained. What I'm going to do now is just dump this into the pot here. My daughter had made some creamy mushroom soup the other day that's gluten-free, so we have this left in the fridge. I'm going to use that to go over this casserole. Just because the bowl is not real big, I'm just kind of doing a small batch right now, and then I'll do more on top. So this is a green bean potato casserole. Alright, and I see a few. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get all of those potatoes in there, which is fine. What I'll do is I'll just pour them back into this jar, and then tomorrow we can have these for breakfast. All that goodness in there. All I'm going to do is just give this a little bit of a mix up. That's it. I'm going to wipe off the lid a little bit, the ring. Lid on. All right, let's get going on the pork butt. All right, so let's get this pork opened. All right, so one of the things I want to show you guys is, see how this is a little bit pink, and then this looks like it's a little bit brown, and then you can see the little chunks of the white. What's going on here is this has got the liquid in it, the fat, and then if you kind of look, it's kind of hard to tip it, but the natural juices only came up to here. So this meat on the top, it's not bad at all. It's just part of a little bit of air got to it, and it won't change the taste or nothing like that. So don't be afraid of it when you see this. What we're going to do here is we're going to drain off the liquid part of this. If I was making a soup or something like that, I would save that and just dump it right into the soup. I don't want my barbecue to be all runny, so I'm not going to use the juice in the barbecue. But what I will do is give this to the dog, put this over his food. I could, you could warm it up and drink it like a broth. There's a lot of good vitamins in there, so that's why I don't want to just toss it. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, once I have that drained, is I'm going to come through with my fork, and I'm just going to remove these extra pieces of fat. In the summertime, sometimes this is a little bit softer and harder to get off, so what I'll do is just toss the jar in the fridge for a minute, and then it makes the fat pieces I don't know what you call it, coagulate. No, actually it's not coagulate. Anyways, it makes them all stick together. See how that comes out like that, really nice. And those I'll give to the chickens for extra fat during the winter time. Look at that. See how easy that pulled off? And then as I'm dumping this into my pot, I will pick through if there's more hunks of fat that I don't like. I'll just pick those out. Now when I cut these up from the pork butt, I kind of cut them up into chunks like this. So they really do come back as nice chunks of barbecue pork. And like this piece is 2 pieces. All right, so let's see where that piece of fat is right there. I'll just go in there and kind of pull that little bit of fat off of there. That's good. It's not a problem. It's just I don't want the extra fat in my barbecue. And these little chunks, if you take these and you line them in your air fryer, set it for about 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. These get all nice and crispy on the outside and nice and soft and tender on the inside. All right, we're gonna put a little barbecue on it. And once this gets out into the sun oven, it's gonna really, you know, start to melt in there, and that barbecue sauce is gonna distribute over everything, and it will be absolutely perfect. What's nice about this is we'll have this for dinner, and then after dinner I'll kind of smash it all up, and tomorrow we'll be able to have this for like a pulled barbecue sandwiches. This is also amazing with a little bit of gravy on it, and then you can do a side of potatoes. You could do it over a biscuit, over toast. Lots of uses for this. And if I had to cook this, a pork butt, you know, a big old pork butt, and cook it, it'd be, you know, probably 5-6 hours before it's nice and tender. All right, that's it. We're gonna just put the lid on it, and we're gonna have David put this out into the sun oven.
So let's see what the temperature is before we put the food in. 325 degrees. It's 32 degrees outside, and it's 10:30 in the morning, so we're not even at peak sun yet. We'll put in the food, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Both pots are in the oven, and we'll check back on it later.
All right, here it is opened up. Yum. All right, guys, so there you go. There is our barbecue pork dinner that we had done completely in the solar oven today. It is the middle of March, and it was around 32 degrees, and we had absolutely no problem with full sun getting the sun oven up to about 325 degrees. All right, guys, so if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you've subscribed. Hit the notification button so that when we release a new video, you get notified of that. And as we say, make sure you get your pantry stocked. Keep on doing what you're doing, and we'll catch you at the next video.